Here's GKB founder and CEO, Craig Karmazin.
We are at full strength in the new Sunday Karma. Week 2, back at it with you. Feel like we might go play a little shorthanded some of the next 8 weeks in a row.
2 for our first 2.
Yeah, I am traveling the next 5 weeks, including today, where I'm going to the CFP, but I'm making it. I rearranged the schedule so that I could actually be on the show, and now I'm driving to Chicago after the show so I could be part of the show. Look at that dedication.
Incredible.
Are you going to mock the dedication when I miss the next 4 shows?
Yeah, I understand that next week it's just me and Kyle. I understand Super Bowl Sunday. Nobody finds it important enough to show up, so.
I'll be at the Super Bowl.
Well, are you calling in?
I said I'd be in for the whole show. I would do whatever y'all want.
Do we not have a show Super Bowl Sunday?
No, I'll be here. I'll be here.
Got it.
Are you here, Kyle?
I guess I'm the only one who doesn't have much of a life outside of here.
Okay, so you're here Super Bowl Sunday.
I don't have any real conflicts. Maybe I'll go to church or something like that. Get the devil off me.
So I'm willing to do the whole show from the Super Bowl. I was just told they didn't want me, that I should just call him for one segment.
Whose call was that?
That was not my call.
That's Ashton. Ashton's they. When I say they, that's Ashton.
That's the suits.
That's the schedule that Kyle is so beholden to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The unauthorized show. You are doing an unauthorized show right now. I will not participate.
It may or may not still be authorized or not. I guess this is on the schedule. I guess it's authorized. You big boss man kind of flexed his muscle here and told them this is what we're doing.
Who, Scals?
No, I don't think that's who he was referring to. I do not think that's who he was referring to.
It is Greg Scalzo, Alex Strofe, Kyle Wallace, Craig Karmazin, the new Sunday Karma with you. Obviously, we'll talk NFL, we'll talk Bob Uecker, but there's more important things right now that just because the urgency of them, which is, I love how Alex is like, what could that be?
I'm intrigued on where you're headed.
It's the 7 at 11. Oh, sure. We have to get aligned on what's going on with the 7 at 11. Now, we don't have a contest set up and all that, so I have an alternate idea. A big picture, not just for this week. You know, we had talked about changing the 7-Eleven, trying to AI proof it, trying to Google proof it, trying to make it so that you actually had to predict something in the future, and then we would pay out $100 of cash. And there were actually people who emailed from listening to us saying, I want to sponsor this. You know, we actually got that, which I appreciate that. And when I say people, I mean our guy John. But I have an idea. Are you guys open to reconsidering the original kind of predict the score, 7 calls? You know, I think you were like, oh, it'd be boring. Someone just would be like, oh, 21-14. All right, thanks for calling. 28-17. Thanks for calling.
Wouldn't be boring. I stand by that.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, I think we could find elements to make it intriguing. But how about this idea? And I know there's a podcast that may do stuff like this, but we were doing this way before other podcasts were doing it. Smartless. So how about this scenario? How about at 11, the 3 of you or whoever's here besides me, get 7 yes or no questions to a random guest that I just drop on the phone at 11, and you have 7 guesses to figure out who it is on the phone. And if you guys in your 7 yes or no questions can't figure it out, then we open up to the calls, and they get to ask yes or no questions to be able to figure out who it is.
So this will be a notable individual, right? We're not just having Ron and the Key on the phone, correct?
I don't know if he's notable because you just said his name as if people should know who Ron and the Key is.
Ron and the Key, I do think, is transcended into notable on any ESPN Wisconsin station. Will we hear the voice of the person? Or
Yeah. The person will be answering. You know, they'll be on the phone, and so you'll be like
it.
You'll be like, are you a sports figure, or are you
Now we're all very competitive individuals. Like, what happens if we win? What happens if we lose? Like, there's got to be some element of stakes here.
Yeah, are we working together?
Well, I was gonna say it works against people who don't show up to the show as often. So maybe I would try to show up for that segment even when I'm not showing up for the show. So I could the other thing is, like, if you get it right, do you have to bring the person the next week, or am I always bringing the person?
I mean, it depends. I guess
I'm saying, do I
like
have
the
more
idea.
notables? Do I have more notables in my phone?
I think
like,
you
is
read
that?
the room and notables.
yes,
I
I
would
think
say.
Kyle might
Do I?
secretly.
It'll be my mama, my daddy, my girl. Like that's all. The only people I know. My friends.
He's like, I got Pookie. Like,
Are you
wait a
Kyle
minute.
Wallace's baby girl? Yes or no?
Who's the
said
most
what?
famous person in your cell phone right now, Kyle?
Nick Ballore. Shout out to my boy Nicky B or Corey Lucius.
Nice game for him last night.
Yeah, he did. He had 3 tackles on special teams. Man, he was showing out for the 4-1-4. Yeah, I don't really have. I'm just a regular guy from Milwaukee.
wow, I watched the whole game. I didn't even notice him
Greg
last
has
night.
no idea who that is.
No, I know who he is. I didn't even know. I
He
didn't.
literally had 3 special teams tackles yesterday.
Look at Scott.
I mean, special
You
teams
don't know who that
tackles.
is.
What are we doing right now?
No, I mean that's big time.
No, not for your phone. That's actually sad for your phone.
Yeah, that's not great.
I mean, what am I supposed to? I'm me. See, I'm normal. You
No,
guys aren't normal.
no, you have people in your phone. I bet you.
I swear I do not. I am just
Bigger than-
I'm Milwaukee.
You got a line into the White House, don't you?
Yeah, I don't have a line to Joe Biden.
Uh-huh. Okay.
What's up with TikTok? You know, you talk to him about that when you talk to Joe Biden?
I'm dancing that it's gone. I'm happy it's gone.
What's actually up with TikTok? You're a TikTok guy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I'm a TikTok guy. I know what it is. I
only
have
say that
it.
because you joined us one time on a TikTok live. So have you opened it in the last 12 hours?
Yeah, of course.
And so it goes, hey,
I mean,
you can't open
yeah, I
this
mean, of
anymore.
course, I wanted to open it to see if I would get the same message that I was reading about in the articles. And I got a message saying,
Genius.
do you know what the message says?
Yeah, it basically said that they're no longer operating. Right?
No,
There's
no.
a second paragraph.
No. That is where it's pretty interesting, right? It says, if you open your TikTok, sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned.
Yeah.
That's what my TikTok
Big
said
one
when I
tomorrow.
opened
Watch out.
TikTok.
it. MLK Day, inauguration, CFP.
Big day tomorrow.
Big day.
Yes.
Massive Monday. It's a good thing we have off. Good thing a lot of people have off, to be able to take in everything that's going to be happening tomorrow.
You'll be in Atlanta?
I'll be in Atlanta.
You leaving today?
I'm leaving today.
Do you have a rooting interest?
No.
Okay.
We have the Ohio State rights in
Yep.
Cleveland, but I've never taken to them the way I've taken to most GKB teams. I don't know if it's because of my Wisconsin, long-term connection or that we don't make enough money off Ohio State for it to be relevant to me. I think that's probably more what it is.
Yeah.
I like Coach Freeman. It's very interesting if he goes to Notre Dame, if he goes to the Bears. That's an interesting little storyline.
Oh my gosh, the Bears suck.
How about
This is what they're doing.
I mean, the
How
Bears
about
are just as good as all the other NFC North teams.
No,
They all suck.
They're actually worse than I thought.
Nah, the Bears are just as good as all those other crappy NFC North
We all
teams
suck.
that can't go
We're all
anywhere.
frauds.
I mean,
All
everyone.
frauds.
Yeah, I mean, they just beat up each other all year. That's how the Lions went 15-2. Just beating up on the. I mean, none of us thought there could be an NFC Championship this year without an NFC North team, right?
No, certainly not. I mean, it was most surprising yesterday. I think everybody, I at least felt like the Vikings were very vulnerable, right?
Yes.
Just because Sam Darnold's their quarterback, you're going on the road for all these games. He's a different guy on the road than at home. Having the number 1 seed for the Lions with how dominant they've been, and then watching them cough that up against the rookie quarterback was really surprising.
I hit the Commanders hard on the. Not on the money line, just on the with the points. So I can't say I called the straight up. Now wait. So are
Well,
we?
I took the under on what might have been the worst
Wait,
totals bet of all
You
time.
took the what? Did
In
it
that
hit the
game?
over in the first half?
Just about. I think they had 54 in the first
Yeah,
half.
the total was
55 and a
55.
half.
And it
I
was
took the
54
under.
at the half.
As soon as the second quarter happened, it's like, oh, there you go. You
Yeah,
lost the-
I mean, have you watched either of those teams play this year?
I have, but it's also, I mean, my reasoning clearly wrong, right? Like, if you gamble enough, you just are accustomed to being wrong.
Yep.
The reasoning to me was A, playoff games are different. B, rookie quarterback going on the road to Detroit. And C, I thought that both teams were going to try to run the ball. Like, I thought it was going to turn into one of those games with long drives, and
Yep.
55 is a lot of points.
It is. It is. I mean, the pick sixes didn't help your cause.
No, certainly not. And
I mean-
in some of the trick play calling, like, it
Amongst
was
800 other things, right?
Yeah. I would have hit. I would one bet that missed because Jamison Williams needed his longest catch to be 20 yards. On the first play of the game, he caught a 19-yard pass and then never caught a longer one.
so
All right,
good.
That's why gambling is just the worst. And that was on Underdog, Kyle. That was on your Underdog. I would have gone 4 for 4 and hit a big little Underdog thing. Use what keyword should you use if you're joining Underdog?
ESPN Kyle W.
Well, that's a lot. So you join Underdog and and the code has to be ESPN Kyle W.
It does now, yes.
Yeah, and then you get a bunch.
How did it become such a long promo code?
You got to talk to Underdog.
All right.
But you get a lot of good stuff. You got what'd you say? Not a partner right now?
Off air.
Oh, off air. Oh, don't use Underdog then right now. Join it once we can get a better code. Once Kyle's back and we can get a better code, then we'll get Underdog going.
We're just going to try to work it to like 3 different layers now. It's not just ESPN, Kyle W. It's like ESPN, Kyle W, Packers, backer. Something just as long as it can be.
All right, wait. So are we aligned? Am I going to try to get someone for today at 11?
I love the idea. Can you carry 50 weeks?
No. He's not going to be here 50 weeks. This is based off his 25-week schedule.
So is this only when I'm here, or are you saying it's a bad idea because I'm not here consistently?
So like next week when it's you two, I guess who's the most famous person in your phone?
No, or do I need to still deliver someone even though I'm not here?
You're going to probably have to deliver. Strouf is going to be trying to reach out to people. They're going to say no. He
Yeah,
may
they're
have
going to
people
be like,
on
who
his
the hell
phone.
are you?
But then it's kind of weird for them to join without me here. Oh no, I'm just at a 50th birthday party next week in Florida, so I could join for that segment. So that could be like the segment that I join on. I could join if you guys want this segment to be the segment. I could join on the 7 at 11.
I like the idea.
Now the question.
Nah, did you hear that voice?
Yeah,
I do.
That was not very convincing.
I worry it's going to get really weird in July and August. It could be really fun in January, February, March.
You're saying because we'll run out of people, or there's something about the summer that makes things different?
What questions am I going to be asking in August? Right, because we're going to go through this thing every week.
Wait,
Right.
are you
We're gonna
talking
get
about like
very
the
refined.
seasonality of it?
Like,
you're
are you a
worried in
per-
the
like, are you a-
summertime you're not gonna-
No, it's not the seasonality of it. I worry about how we're going to go from like A-list names.
No, I'm not starting with A-list names by no means. Are you thinking
is
this
Steve
is
Politziner going to be on the phone?
no?
at 11?
These are people that I would think that our listeners
7
would enjoy a
questions.
conversation with.
And in 7 questions, you think I'll be able to figure it out?
You should be. I don't know. That's kind of the fun part
Do
of
you
it.
have anybody in mind for today?
I have a few people in mind for today.
Let's try it today. Let's try it
let's
today.
give it a shot.
I like the idea. I like the
Okay,
concept.
now, but can we commit to getting to the break schedule on time? Because if I tell someone like, "Hey, you're joining us at 11 o'clock,"
Craig-
like oftentimes we get there at like 11:30.
Hold on a minute. That's a you thing. You're running the show. You're the one that talks to Jason Wilde the most when he joins
Right.
us from 10:30 to 11. That's going to be up to you.
But if we had done that last week, would that have been worth losing the magic that we had last week? All the dirty Al
Dirty Al
Gallagher.
with 5 middle names. Absolutely.
I think we can hit it on time.
Okay, you think we can hit it on time?
I like your blind confidence.
I
You have
think
a
we
lot of
can.
it.
I think we can.
Let's practice today.
If it's
Okay.
worthwhile, like if you know that you've got a good guest coming up at 11, you're gonna.
Okay, now
make it out on time.
last question on that. If they do have a really distinctive voice, should they be trying to hide their voice, or like should they just be them? And then like if you just hear them say yes, you're like, oh, it's Barry Alvarez. We all know Barry's voice.
So I was just about to bring up Barry as the example. If I hear Barry's voice at 11 o'clock, all I'm asking him about is Xavier Lucas and the 7AL thing.
but
So.
forget what you're asking. But you would know he's Barry Alvarez, which makes
Do you think you have 7 yes or no questions for the guest? You have 7 yes or no questions to determine who the guest is.
yeah.
And then we...
No, then you don't have to ask yes or no questions.
Oh,
Then
okay,
you
once
don't-
we figure it out, we're
so,
just...
so you
Then you
thought,
could interview
like
him.
it was just like we were going to bring on
I
Barry
thought we-
Alvarez
well,
and you
I
had
thought-
to ask him 7 yes or no
I
questions.
thought for the fans' sake, we had to drag this thing out as long as we could,
No.
even if we knew the answer.
No, once you like
Yes, I'm an idiot, Greg.
One of
Are
the
you
yes or no
realizing this for the first time?
one of the yes or no questions would be, are you Barry Alvarez? And if he says yes, then it's over.
then
that
it's
counts
done.
as
So do we only get 7 questions amongst all of us?
yes.
Yes.
So you and I would take turns.
And Kyle.
and Kyle.
Would you guys stop getting frustrated with me? We've talked about this for 3 minutes.
We talked about this for 15 minutes now.
And we're already going to be late for
Yeah,
Wilde
I was
because of
gonna say,
it.
we should probably practice being on time.
Yeah. So no, wait. So the question is, if Greg's like, "Are you an athlete?" and they say yes, does Greg get to ask the second question, or does it go to Kyle? Like if they say yes to his question, does he keep control.
I think you keep control.
I think it's got to be like discussed beforehand.
Oh, you're doing as a team, so it's more of a team sport.
I think it's a team sport.
Okay,
right?
so
We're
that's why
trying
I
to
didn't
get
know
in
if
seven.
because when you were saying what are we competing for, I was thinking there could be some like, hey, whoever comes in last, whoever guesses the least right.
Oh no, my
loses
thought
something.
was like you pick the guest and you win if we don't get them, and we win if we do get it.
Yeah. But then
What do we win?
Then well, we can figure that out later. But then I'm incentivized to get more obscure people. And then you're going to be like ripping on the person while they're on because you're like, oh, we didn't
I
get
thought
them.
that was the whole point. You
How do
know,
we
is
get
next
the
thing you know, we've got
fans
like
part of this.
Well, that's if you don't get it in the 7 guesses, then callers start to get jump in on the yes no questions.
All right, and then do they get to interview the guests as well? Now that's a win.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
might.
prize.
Yeah, I mean, I think the person who gets the answer, if they get a yes,
maybe they get the first.
they get to
question.
stay on. Yeah, they get the first question. I like it. What would your first question be to Barry Alvarez about Xavier Lucas that you're so interested in?
Have you read into this?
Yeah.
So he signed a contract, and then
A binding agreement.
Right, a binding agreement, and then he left. He went to Miami, and then him and his lawyer essentially said, "Hey, NCAA, the transfer portal isn't real."
Yeah.
Right. So he unenrolled from classes, enrolled in classes at Miami, and is immediately eligible to play athletics.
Yeah.
That's very strange to me in the era we live in.
Yeah. And you don't have to ask Barry a yes/no question about that, just so you know.
Yes or no? The government needs to step in just like they did on TikTok.
To keep Xavier Lucas. Yes. Yeah, Barry, do you think the governor should step in and ban transfer portals?
Day one for President Trump.
Executive
Xavier
order.
Lucas, TikTok.
There you go.
Put it across his desk at the Oval Office.
I wouldn't be shocked if that's what was on the radar. All right, we will finalize this stuff, and I guess I have to try to find a guest for today as we roll on. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way, I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Chronic joint pain has a snowball effect. It's not just the pain.
What that did is just make me depressed that I couldn't get back into the gym, and I was inactive, gaining weight. I had to find another alternative.
And for Chad, that alternative was QC Kinetics and the non-surgical natural biologic treatments that can give lasting relief to aching hips, shoulders, knees, and backs.
Once they explained it, it made sense. Putting what we have inside our body back into us in a certain strategic way to heal up in a natural process was fantastic.
QC Kinetics treatments take place right in the office. No downtime, no surgery. And as for the outcome,
I'm just back to bouncing around, having fun, doing my work, living pain-free.
don't let chronic joint pain rob you of your quality of life. Discover advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. Call now to learn more. It's a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Experience the timeless charm of the Knickerbocker on the Lake, Milwaukee's premier boutique hotel. With its stunning architecture and modern comforts, every detail tells a story. Whether it's a romantic getaway, a business trip, or simply a night away, you'll find elegance, history, and a warm welcome waiting for you. The Knickerbocker on the Lake, where every moment feels like a chapter from the past, written just for you. Visit knickerbockerontheLake.com to book your stay today. An unforgettable getaway awaits.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 855-620-1801. That's 855-620-1801. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Kyle Bruston Nortman.
For sure.
No,
yeah.
Brad. No,
Kyle.
KBN.
If this is good Jordan Love, I'm officially concerned for the future of the team.
You're listening to ESPN Milwaukee, 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel. It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
All right, we have breaking news coming in to the Sunday Karma news desk that Kyle Wallace might be trying to pull some shenanigans, some payola, plugola that's actually FCC illegal.
Uh-oh. What lies?
Kyle's a rule follower. We know that. We learned that last week.
Hey, listen. Let's be real. This is recorded now. Any slander or libel can be used against you. You know, Gruber one call that's all. That's my homie too, Craig.
Yes, it is. Although apparently Nick Ballore is more famous, assuming you have his number.
I do not have Gruber. I have 414-276-6666.
Direct line.
Yeah, I got the line we all got.
One call, that's all. So Josh DiMaggio, unnamed source, says that Kyle might be giving out that underdog code because that's his personal kickback, like where you get you get a little free
$50
money if you refer it to a friend.
You asked me for a code, so I gave you the code.
We thought that was like a above board promo code. Now it makes sense why it's Kyle W.
ESPN
underscore.
Kyle W.
I didn't want to give you a defunct code.
Underscore baby daddy, baby mama, mama's baby's
I'm not
mama.
gonna give you a defunct code. I gave the code I knew people could utilize.
All right, well, let's.
Do they get anything for that code, or are you the only one that gets something for that code?
I think they get something too.
They get like $5 and he gets $100.
I think we both get like 50.
All right, we have a lot to get to today, including the passing of Bob Uecker this week. We, of course, are the home of the Milwaukee Brewers in Madison, where we have you've listened to the Brewers for 0 consecutive seasons, but it all starts this year. A new era in Madison with ESPN Madison as the home of the Milwaukee Brewers. But it has been WTMJ forever. Greg, you are the market manager for Milwaukee. Bob Uecker's been such a part of all of our lives, but I guess what was your reaction and your take as a legend leaves us this week?
I think that it's similar to most people. You know, it's unfortunate, but it was like an incredible life lived. I think.
Wait, but you're from Boston originally, the Boston area. Did you like before you came here? Like, did you have any feel for Uecker?
I would say, like, if you were to do a national poll, Uecker's probably like his work with the Brewers might be the third or fourth thing that he's most
At
famous
best,
for.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
I'm
like,
saying I didn't
know,
realize.
like
I didn't realize
Major
before I
League,
came.
yes.
Like it, I assumed before I moved here that there was a play-by-play guy, and that Euchre was the color guy. Because remember even in Major League, there was like a guy next to him who was like theoretically like part of the team, which I assume was supposed to be the play-by-play guy, and he, as the former athlete, would actually be the color commentator. But Alex, I assume you just grew up listening to you.
Yeah, as long as I remember. I mean, like Greg said, it's just an incredible life, right? And reading stuff on him, after his passing on Thursday. This guy's in like every Hall of Fame that's ever existed. I told Kyle and the guys this on KBN on Thursday. Like, he's in the WWE Hall of Fame. He's in the Milwaukee Performing Arts Hall of Fame. He's in the Wisconsin Broadcast Association Hall of Fame. Obviously, the Baseball Hall of Fame. Like,
he's a Ford Frick winner, which, Kyle, I was listening to KVN. You guys played the speech. It was pretty amazing just to listen to how, the guy was as self-deprecating as anyone could be. What was your Euchre thing?
Yeah, overall for me, for Euchre, it's the fact that it just brought back memories growing up. And I talked about it on KBN. It's the connection that went to my grandfather, right? My grandfather, somebody who grew up, who enjoyed playing stickball, as he called it, but sitting there in the living room in his chair, listening to radio while the TV was on. I think so many of us who have grandparents who were born in the early 1900s, right? And we grew up going to their house, and they probably did the exact same thing. They had that specific chair that they sat in. They had that black stereo right there next to them. They probably had the TV station on, but they had Bob Uecker playing. So for me, that was the connection to Bob Uecker and to my family, was the fact that I got to watch my grandpa listen to Bob and listen to baseball with him.
I feel like I had to do that also. Like, I started listening to games on the TMJ app because once I became a cord cutter, I couldn't, for a while, I didn't have the Brewers games before I did my direct to consumer so I could watch the Bucks games. I literally didn't have it, and it was like old school. Like, I would sit with my phone, doing work or doing whatever in the house, and I'd have the Brewers game in the background. And I feel like it was so much the soundtrack of summer, which you hear a lot, but it's not just the summer. Like, it's half the year, that you would have him in that background. And like you said, Greg, it's 3 or 4 different things, right? Like, I saw him as Mr. Belvedere. I saw him as Miller Lite. I saw him as
Harry Doyle.
I saw him as Harry Doyle. And I saw him, I legit, game of the week was a big deal. Like, Strophe and Kyle, there's no way it was ever for you guys, right? Greg, was it for you? No? So, ABC, when I was little, I remember before my grandfather died, too. We would watch, we'd come home from bowling, we'd go bowling, and then we'd watch the game of the week on the Major League Baseball game of the week. See, isn't that how you pictured me growing up?
Totally. Yes. I just like that you were like, when you were little, Greg, were you around there too?
No, because Greg's older than Kyle, right?
We're the same age. We're all born the same generation. We're all millennials.
No. Strophe and Kyle. Strophe's way younger.
Actually.
Okay.
Well,
All right, Kyle versus Greg. What's the age difference?
Greg's a year older than me.
Yeah, so that's like a generation in baseball-wise. It could have been.
Yeah.
All right,
months, 10
Kyle,
months.
what's the first World Series you remember?
The first World Series
Yeah.
I remember? Oh, man. You know what? The one that really stands out to me,
Okay.
because you see them when you're a kid.
Yeah.
But the biggest one was the Florida Marlins when they won, because Craig Counsell, who is now no longer.
Wait, but you were
11, I think. It was 2001, I think, or 2001. I think they won a World Series, something like that.
No, it was
or 99.
No, it was 97. He won it in 01 with the Diamondbacks.
Okay, well maybe. I just remember Craig Counsell being in the World Series, and that's what I remember. So 2001 with the Diamondbacks, what I remember. Now clearly before that, I remember I think the Braves.
Okay, so 01 at the Diamondbacks. Which one do you remember?
95, that Braves.
See, he's
World
6 years
Series.
older than you in baseball terms.
Well, no,
that's what I'm telling you.
His family probably was a baseball family.
Big time baseball family.
Oh, Mister, my grandfather is listening to all the games. Oh, but you're not a you are embarrassing your family. You ignored your grandfather and his transistor radio and his stickball. Did you even ever play stickball with your grandfather?
Of course not. You're a transplant. You got to understand. The Brewers season ended in. September? That's when it ended. So after that, whatever was on TV, my parents weren't watching. My grandpa wasn't listening to that because the season was over.
We'll talk with Davey Lopes, who will be our 7 at 11 mystery guest as we continue today. Jason Wilde next. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Set to work. Runners lead. First, second, and third the pitch. Hit to left and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone! Jackson Chourio just hit one with the bases loaded.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree. What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and Chris are joined by Steve Jones, host of the Dunker Spot podcast. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Landworks is the locally owned landscape company to elevate the look of your home or business. Landworks is different because of customer service. From the crew to the salesperson to the admin team, you're in good hands with Landworks. Their sales and design teams are made up of horticulturists, licensed landscape architects, and passionate plant people. Their landscape architects and horticulture team members are also project managers. This means you'll have a single point of contact from initial design through completion of work. See their amazing work for yourself at LandworksWisconsin.com.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through March 1st, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has donated over $890,000, providing more than 2.6 million meals to people across southeast Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Trained Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. Right now, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. There is no limit and no payments for 3 whole years. Restrictions apply. If you already have a price quote, they'll beat it. Schedule your free in-home estimate today.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Whether you are a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit our great city of Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Hey, maybe you got friends coming in from out of town. St. Kate the Arts Hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee with deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music. You and your friends will enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com. That's stkatearts.com.
Whether it's breaking Packers news, breaking Bucks news, or breaking Brewers news, we are Milwaukee's place for the biggest sports stories right when they happen. 94.5 ESPN.
Like
of the people. We have 10 people here, and we have the one person producing who doesn't remember to turn mics on, doesn't?
I gotta turn.
He didn't turn my mic off after last segment.
Yeah, Greg's mic was on the whole commercial.
A little bit behind the scenes here.
Is there a way that, Kyle, you lose?
Sing on?
Yeah, is there a way you would lose the job of being producer and get demoted to being host?
No, I mean, that's on me. Our last segment, the mic wasn't off, so I turned everybody's mic down and off, and I discovered, what mic is what. And so I'm all...
How long
You just discovered that you've been here, bro.
That's literally on the test in order to pass being a producer.
The co-host seat is his. I didn't know that. I'm just used to having me.
Been that way since we moved there.
I'm just used to having me and Craig, and then I just pod people up. But last time I was like, I still hear somebody, so I turned everybody down. I'm like, let me just turn everybody down because I hear something, and I feel like I turned this off. But then, so
in Kyle's defense, he was grandfathered in. There was no producer test when he became producer of Sunday
If
Karma.
Ashton is listening, hopefully Kyle gets demoted. That's all I'm saying. All right, Jason Wilde does join us. I've said it 4 times, but this is the first time my mic is on. Good morning, Jason.
In fairness to Kyle, I'm at a volleyball tournament, and I was asking him how much time I had. I needed to get outside, so there wasn't screaming. I think I distracted him. So give him some grace and blame me.
So I don't know if TikTok impacts this or if this is Instagram. All I'm saying, Jason, is my daughter this week said that your daughter is legit at gymnastics, and she is a tough critic. She said the routines are legit. So I don't know what's going on in volleyball, but the gymnastics are certified legit via the formerly defunct TikTok or maybe Instagram. But Jason, let's start with the fact that there is no NFC North team in the NFC Championship. How surprised are you?
Yeah, I'm surprised. Despite everything that the Lions have gone through defensively this year, I thought that they would win that game. I'm really happy for my buddy Joe Witt, who's the defensive coordinator for the Commanders. I think holding the Lions to 31 points is actually an accomplishment with that offense. Getting those turnovers last night was remarkable. So I was not expecting Washington to be able to win on the road. And again, I always have to give credit to Tausch. He's a smart guy. We'll see what Philly does today, but he was convinced that if the Packers won, they would go to Detroit and win. I'm not 100% sure he would have been right on that, but it's clear that it's not impossible to go to Ford Field and beat a team that's decimated on the defensive side of the ball. So I do find myself wondering if all that talk about the best division in football was in part because they played 2 of the worst divisions in football and padded their records by doing so.
Interesting. As we talk to Jason Wilde. So, Jason, does this recalibrate any of your thoughts on the Packers, given what's happened to the Vikings and the Lions in the postseason?
No, it's made me recalibrate my opinion of all 3 teams, right? And look, the NFL scheduling formula is what it is. And if you look at all 3 of those teams, they obviously had really good records. But I don't know. This year was just a strange year. It felt like, I wasn't convinced of who was actually good and who wasn't. And I feel like most seasons, you kind of have a pretty good handle on, okay, this team is one of the best teams in the league. And when I would watch, and Tausch was a doubter of the Vikings too, but I thought, okay, their defense is really good. They've got their quarterback playing really well. They've obviously got a productive running back and good wide receivers. They're legit. I look at the Lions. I would say this. If they had not been decimated on the defensive side of the ball, I think they are the best team in the league. I think they're better than the Chiefs if they have their guys. But they were so decimated on that side of the ball that I became a doubter as the season wore on. What I think is interesting.
Which, by the way, Jason, just the Aiden Hutchinson injury was a big deal. And that was that even feels like a separate story than them losing everyone.
Correct.
Which happened after.
Yep. Exactly. And obviously he's the field tilting player that you had to account for on every single snap, right? Like the guy like Reggie White was, or Leroy Butler was, or Charles Woodson was. And that obviously is huge.
Or Latroy Guion was. When he had to move from guard to left guard to right guard, and that was a big.
Everybody remembers.
Everybody remembers.
I forgot to pull that after we got done last week. So what I'm saying is that I think what I also learned yesterday on our drive back from Eau Claire for the girls' gymnastics meets was the Chiefs, they make the most critical plays and they don't beat themselves, right? And that's the difference. And the Packers, you kept hearing the Packers talk about how over and over again they would say, well, we beat ourselves. And that's good teams don't do that.
But don't you think that's part of being the youngest team in football? Like that's part of what they've chosen to do.
No, and look, I would if Brian Gutekunst is going to tell us that age ain't nothing but a number, Aaliyah, then I'm sticking with that because he's the one creating that expectation. And I would also argue by the end of the season, and this has been said about rookies forever, you're not a rookie anymore, right? Like by the time you get to the end of the season, the whole philosophy of their roster building approach is we're going to build this team and we're going to live through the growing pains during the first 2/3 of the season because we believe that on the other side they're going to come out as top flight players. And I would argue that last year you saw that offensively, and I would say this year you saw that defensively, right? You saw it with Edgerrin Cooper. If there hadn't been injury issues for Evan Williams, I think you would have seen that with Evan Williams. I mean, they're as good as Xavier McKinney is. One of the things that they love about Evan Williams is he's good enough and smart enough to allow them to do more things with Xavier McKinney that they weren't able to do when they were playing other guys at that safety spot. So I don't, if they're going to say, and this was something that Goody was adamant about, right? The final question that I asked at the press conference at the end of the week was about, this is great. You talked a lot about growth and how much your guys improved, but the bottom line is you went 11-6 and you lost in the first round of the playoffs. So what were you disappointed by this season, and what are you challenging your guys for next year? And his message was there's got to be a greater sense of urgency. And I took that to mean that he feels like with these young guys on the team, there's a mentality of, well, there's always next year. We're such a young team. We're still building. And that's how I looked at it too. But he clearly believes that these opportunities that they had last year and they had this year, once you're there, you can't use the youthful excuse anymore because you don't know if next year you're going to have the kind of year that the Lions had with injuries, and you're not going to get to the playoffs at all if you're missing that many pieces. So I'm fascinated. I think this is going to be the most interesting offseason they've had in perhaps a decade or more because they're going to have free agency money to spend. They're going to have more draft picks to extend to put on more young players that they're going to be excited about. And they've got a really good core on both sides of the ball. So I can't wait for this offseason to see what they do because I think Goody made it very clear that the expectation next season is to compete for championships.
Jason Wilde joining us here on Sunday Karma across ESPN Wisconsin. Jason, does that sense of urgency apply to Gutekunst? Because you said it yourself, like they are poised, right, to hit this window. And I think the three best teams in the NFL are all in the AFC, right, between the Ravens, the Bills, and the Chiefs. The Niners don't feel like the team that they used to be. It's possible that both coordinators on the Lions end up becoming head coaches elsewhere, and there's a depletion of their
especially after that
talent.
great Lions defensive performance yesterday.
Really impressive.
You trust the Jets to not hire Aaron Glenn? But it does feel like there's sort of this real window in the NFC for a team like the Packers, but we've also seen a decade-plus track record of this franchise wanting to take, and I know it's a Brewers term, but it applies with the Packers, bites at the apple, right? Like of just, hey, we're not trying to go all... Do you get... If urgency is the word in Goody's head, do you expect that to also apply to his group in the front office?
Yeah, I think it does, and I think with the financial wherewithal they're going to have in free agency, I think he's going to be aggressive. I do, because I do think that he feels like. And look, let's remember too, when we talk about free agency with this team, it is Xavier McKinney is the poster child for what they look for in free agency, just like Zadarius Smith was. Guys that are coming off their first contracts that weren't first-round picks. So they have 4 years of experience. They're in that 25 to 26-year-old age group, and they think their best football is still ahead of them. They're not going to overpay for veteran players, but they're going to pay for potential. And McKinney paid off hugely. if we're being honest about Josh Jacobs, he obviously paid off great too. He's a little different because he was going into his 6th NFL season, right? Because he was a first-round pick. But the same idea applies, and that I'm eager to see what kind of young player fits that mold for them, because I know that there's Packers fans that think they're going to add T. Higgins and Devontae Adams and Myles Garrett and Max Crosby. And I'll be curious if any of those guys actually end up on this team, or if it's a edge rusher that we don't necessarily realize how good they can be. I mean, Zadarius Smith's most sacks when he was with the Ravens was 8.5. And then what did he have? 13.5 his first year with them and 12.5 the second. And then he didn't have any guaranteed money left, so he quit on them in 21. I'm eager to see if that's what this looks like this time around. If there's a guy that we're not all that familiar with that comes in, is an edge rusher that helps them more than, say, a Max Crosby, whose name we obviously all recognize.
We will have more with Jason Wilde as we continue. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Romeo. This 3-syllable, you have to take the O out of the equation. That's too easy.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Iota, right? Not one iota.
Iota. Yeah. That's only 4 letters.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
Let's pretend you're a first-time listener to Wilde and Tausch. What the hell is this? They're discussing syllables.
On 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Network Health knows that good health knows no age limit. That's why they offer superior local health plans for individuals of all generations. Whether you're a young professional, a growing family, or enjoying your golden years, plan is designed to meet your unique healthcare needs. For more about Network Health's business, individual, or Medicare Advantage plans, call Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Eric, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. The Saganiac Planning Marquette Records. Highest scoring team in Marquette history, 84 points per game, 70 years ago. 1954-55, don't ask me why, I'm old, but not that old. At 84 a game, they were good. 24-3, won 22 in a row. Over 100 points in 3 games, a high of 113. Jack Nagel, the coach, Terry Rand, leading scorer and rebounder. 70 years ago, 84 points per game. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D.
Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
The new year is here, and we all know it's the perfect time to hit the reset button. Let's be real, guys. Feeling confident in how you look and feel isn't just for women. That's where Quintessa Aesthetic Center comes in. From now through March 31st, Quintessa is offering exclusive packages to help you start 2025 as a more confident you. Whether it's weight loss plans or even IV therapy, Quintessa has personalized options backed by medical experts to help you look and feel your absolute best. Visit myquintessa.com to learn more. Make 2025 the year you feel confident inside and out.
Start the day with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Can't get to the Super Bowl in early October, but they are not playing like a team that has those types of aspirations right now.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
So we could connect. And what are the odds? You send me a text and now the next thing I know, I'm like, manifest. That's your oversized. I digress. Got me scrolling like out of breath. Got me going like, who's the cute boy with the white jacket and the thick accent?
Oh, normally I get to talk to. Are we on? The mic's on and stuff, Kyle? Oh yeah,
Test,
get that.
test,
Normally I get to hang with Wildy during the break, but then now I have all these people here. I don't know if I should talk to Wildy or not. Jason and I didn't get to catch up as we continue with Jason Wildy. He's out at volleyball. He's telling us there.
Oh, something good happened.
Yeah, there's seemingly some urgency around the Packers. And Jason, you brought up like the rush ends and the receivers, which seem like the two sexy versions of this, but like. We came off of last year saying, like, the Packers are in the dream place for wide receivers, right? And especially with the tight ends, like, there's nothing to worry about. And now it seems like there's everything to worry about. Where I know you're not, Jason is normally not hyperbolic. He's not prone to hyperbole. But he did just drop that this will be the most intriguing offseason in 10 years. So this new clickbait hyperbole Jason Wildy, Jason, is it 0 or 10? What do you think about these wide receivers?
Yeah, that's not hyperbole, and here's why. This is another good example, right? Because, and I said this to Goody on Thursday when we talked to him, like, he's been here as long. I've actually been covering the team a little bit longer than he's worked for it. But
did you tell him that? You're like, I said this to Goody. Hey, I've been here longer. I know this team better than you.
Not the second sentence for sure, but the first sentence is he and I, he came up through the scouting side at essentially the same time as I did during my time covering the team. And I went through the lineage of number one wide receivers, right? Like before I got on the beat, it was Sterling Sharp. Then it was Robert Brooks. Then it was Antonio Freeman. Then it was Donald Driver. Then it was Greg Jennings. Then it was Jordy Nelson. Then it was Davante Adams, and that's the list. Right? Ever since Davante Adams was traded, they really haven't had a number one wide receiver. It was Alan Lazard.
I was going to say, no respect for Alan Lazard here, Jason?
I know.
Wait, was it Alan Lazard?
Yeah, for that 1 year.
Was it really?
For that. Then you wonder why in
absolutely.
2022 they didn't go anywhere. Right?
Yeah, wow.
So my point is that, and my point of my question was, do you need to get a guy who can be a number one wide receiver, or is someone going to emerge? And do you need someone to emerge that on 3rd and 8, he's the guy that you're going to go to? And to me, that's the difference. Like we all, Tausch loves to use the Friends cast versus J.R. Ewing because both of those are very timely TV references. But the fact of the matter is that they don't have a guy that that they can count on, like Davante or like Jordy.
So Jason, when you're saying that, does that include tight end?
Yeah, look, I love Tucker Kraft.
No, but I'm just saying in general, because the Chiefs obviously let Tyreek Hill go, but you can't argue that Kelsey even still is that go-to.
Always have a number one target, right?
Right. So you're saying number one.
Your point,
right.
Travis
So
Kelce is that guy.
So Jason, we're talking number one target, right? Not necessarily wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So could Tucker Kraft be that guy? Theoretically, yes. But I don't think their offense is designed the same way as, say, Kansas City's is, where it's, look, this is designed to scheme wide receivers open. And that's a whole nother discussion we can have about the fact that at the end of the season, Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love are talking about how important it is that guys win their one-on-one matchups. And I was having flashbacks to Mike McCarthy because that's what that offense had been predicated on. And that is one thing that I said to LaFleur in his season wrap-up is, you talked down the stretch about guys winning one-on-ones, but I remember when you got here, all of us were talking about, oh, my God, I can't believe how open guys are schemed in this system. So why didn't that happen as much? And then that led to the further discussion of the lack of play action success. So that's why this offseason, it's not hyperbole about how fascinating it's going to be, because it's going to be who is going to make a jump. Jordan Love is in a critical year to elevate his game. What are they going to add from a personnel standpoint? But also, how is Matt LaFleur going to reinvent this offense to be more compatible with the way they like to run the football with Josh Jacobs? Because there's no doubt that Josh Jacobs was extremely productive, right? He was, I think, 4th in rushing in the league. But there was a disconnect between the way they ran their running game and the play-action marriage to it. And when that doesn't work, this offense is not getting guys open the way it had in previous years with Aaron Jones, who obviously ran in an outside zone scheme that was way more well-suited for their play-action game to work off of it.
Jason, real quick, we got 30 seconds. Tell me Jeff Hafley will be back in Green Bay next year after he finishes his head coaching interview with the New York Jets. He'll be back, right?
Yeah, so his interview is done. I don't know if he'll get a second interview, but look, they're interviewing almost as many people as the Bears are, right? I mean, I'm surprised Jim Rutledge hasn't gotten a Bears interview yet. So if we're looking at Hafley, I think much like I thought the Packers were a year away from competing for a Super Bowl, I think he's probably another successful year or two away from being a hot NFL head coaching candidate. So I know you're worried about that, Strofe. I think he's probably another really good defensive season away from being that guy.
There you have it. The action seems hot and heavy going on in Green Bay on the volleyball courts. We'll let you get back to it. Thanks for joining us as always, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, guys. I appreciate you. Take care. Be good.
Craig, you've interviewed Jim Rutledge before for jobs. How would he do in a head coaching interview?
From ESPN Madison, Jim Rutledge?
Yes.
I do not think I've ever interviewed him for a position.
Really?
Yeah. Because I can't imagine he would have gotten any positions, and I think he's gotten most positions he's grown into in this company. So yeah. So I don't think I've ever interviewed him.
Well, how do you think he would do if the Bears called him and said, "Hey, we're just looking for an outside voice"?
I'm just impressed that they actually listened to your idea, because last Sunday you said, you know what the Bears should do is they should try to trade a pick for Mike Tomlin.
And they'd looked into it.
They did. And, oh, wait, was that Phil Foden? Oh, no, it's not. Oh, wait, is it?
Nobody has any idea what the hell you're talking about.
Brand new 7 and 11 coming up next on Sunday Karma.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group. How's business? Do you really know? We recently worked with several clients who thought they knew but didn't because their books were not in order. Imagine thinking you were making $1 million when you were really only making $200,000. Quite a difference. Or you thought sales were down, but they were up and you didn't notice because you were so busy putting out fires. If these happen to you, we can help. We work with our clients to develop systems and procedures to improve their business and give them the information they need to know where their business is now and where it is going in the future. Don't wait. Start on the path to less stress, more cash in your pocket, and no more sleepless nights. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit neilgroup.net today to book a meeting. We can talk over Zoom, the phone, in our office, or your place of business. Yes, we make house calls. Don't wait any longer. Call 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is hosting another Scramble tournament with $750 in cash prizes available. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, and Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center invites you to play in a two-man scramble at Pebble Beach, all from their comfortable golf simulators. Grab a friend and sign up today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. The tournament costs $120 per pairing and is happening now through January 31st. Your winter chance to play Pebble Beach awaits. WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority with the latest technologies at their state-of-the-art Brookfield office. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. And now, Holtebeck Eye Center is excited to add Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist that is now available to see patients. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
All I ever wanted was a black Grand National. Being rational, give them what they asked for. It's not enough. Few solid left, but it's not enough.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
It was Phil Foden who netted the goal. Man City up 1-0 in Ipswich. I know a lot of people interested because Ipswich,
Greg, take over again.
Ipswich, no, people care about Ipswich. They're an American team, owned by Americans. They moved up to the Premier League.
It's the first time I've heard that word.
They've been a great story, and now they're in the relegation mix, and they're hosting Man City, who's been struggling. So I think a lot of people are very attentive to what's going on in this match.
I didn't realize they were in the Premier League.
Yeah, they're now
another goal.
Yeah, no, they're now trailing 2-0. Man City. Coming into Ipswich and seemingly getting some of their offensive mojo back.
Is Man City your team that you pull for?
No.
Who do you pull for?
Aston Villa. We had a 2-2 draw with Arsenal. Yes, at the Emirates yesterday. Right? I'm like Kyle. There you have it. All right. Well, I know. Did we have a new open for the 7-Eleven, or does it not exist? What's going on? Did you play it?
No. I know. Here comes 7-Eleven that we just came up with 56 minutes ago.
Oh no, but I heard talk in the office this week that like Greg had been critical of how long the open was to the 7-Eleven.
We did get an email about it.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if
I don't know if it happened though.
Let's see if it happened.
It seems similar. We can't go through the whole thing.
Aside from a house or a car,
I'm guessing this is the same.
What is the most expensive thing you own?
This is the difference between us getting to the guest on time and not on time.
Okay, yeah. Let's not. Okay, I think we have enough of this. Okay, all right. So we said the 7-Eleven would be me booking a mystery guest from my phone.
Yeah, how'd that go today?
So I don't have anyone per se ready to go, but let's go with who the mystery guest could have been.
So we're asking you yes or no
Yes, you're
questions?
asking me yes or no questions for the person who I texted. Now,
well, was talking crap to me all of an hour ago about how I had nobody in my phone. At least my people would respond and answer.
All right,
Mama would have answered the call.
I'm willing to give it a try.
Okay.
But before we do, Craig, I got to say, this sucks for the debut.
Yeah,
this sucks.
But no, this is funnier. Me being the mystery guest. This is a better bit because Smartless. Oh wow, it's Jerry Seinfeld. Wow, that'd be so good. Like anyone could have Jerry Seinfeld on your show, right? Like
true.
We don't need to do that. But me being Jerry Seinfeld is way more interesting. So, all right, I texted 4 different people. The first one I texted was Doug Gottlieb, just because you were ripping on him off the air. So I wanted to have him on the air.
I wasn't ripping on him.
No, you were ripping on him.
Yes, you were.
No.
You said.
I will say what I said.
Yes, you said he gave up a 28-0 run to start the half, and that any of us, if we were playing,
we're playing 5 Division I athletes.
Yes.
The 4 of us. We're playing 5 Division I athletes. We are getting at least 1 bucket.
Yeah, so that's not ripping on him.
We're getting 20.
Saying that his coaching is so bad. His coaching is so bad.
Add Doug to us, our 5. Doug agrees with me.
You're saying that the 4 of us are better than the 5 kids he puts out on the court.
Just in that
as the
moment,
coach.
yes.
Yeah. I think that's more a knock on what you think of his coaching than on his players.
I think
because you wouldn't be attacking 18-year-old, and I know he has like a 26-year-old also on the team.
Yes, a 24-year-old freshman from Israel. Yes, Jonathan Levy. The reason I know that, I don't know. But anyway, I stand by that.
Okay, so we're not going to go with him. Okay.
Not Gottlieb.
All right, so we're not going to go with Gottlieb.
He was busy, huh?
Do you want to go with...
He's got a game at noon.
All right, do you want to go with mystery guest? He had a game at noon. He told me he had a game at noon.
He's got a game in an hour, and he's texting Craig.
He did text me.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
I still thought he would come on. He had told me when I saw him, he's like, oh, yeah, I have a game at noon. I can come on your show anytime. But I think if it was like in the 10 o'clock hour, he would have been more comfortable. So, all right. You guess pick guest number 2, 3, or 4.
Go ahead, Greg.
3.
I like 3.
Okay, I like 3. All right. I'm the mystery guest. I am being the mystery guest. And you guys ask the first 7 yes/no questions, and then we'll open it up to the fans if you can't guess the person correct.
Go ahead, Greg. I like you for question 1.
Are you famous for being a former athlete?
No.
Okay.
We talked about our sequence of questions we were going to ask.
Well, I would go with, are you famous for being a business person?
No.
Kyle?
Are you a woman?
No.
All right, 0 for 3.
All right, this is our new 7-Eleven mystery guest. I am the mystery guest, but it's not me. I'm being the person who didn't text me back to be the mystery guest. We're up to question number 4.
Are you famous for being a broadcaster?
No.
A coach or team personnel?
No.
Okay, we are 0 for 5, Kyle. Give us something.
Are they well-known, kind of like...
Wait, no, you need to ask, are you?
Are you well-known? Are you well-known across this country?
Say no. Okay. Well-known? I'll say no.
So is our 7th question...
Are you from... Or I should say, have you lived in or do you currently live in the state of Wisconsin?
Yes.
All right.
And now do we have to guess?
All right.
Yes?
No,
Yes.
no. I mean, you've used all 7 questions.
But we don't get a final
I mean,
guess?
the 7th question
Has
had
to
to have
be,
been,
are you?
All right, can we make it the 8 and 11 just today because it's the first time?
All right, yeah, you each could throw out one name.
The answer was yes to currently live in Wisconsin?
No, that wasn't the question. The question was, have you ever or currently lived in Wisconsin?
And the answer was no.
It was yes.
So it's not a coach, athlete.
By the way, I don't think they're going to get it. So right now, line up to ask yes/no questions.
But
and by
not
the way,
well-known.
when you call in, you get to keep asking questions till you get a no. So if you get yeses, you get to keep going. So 800-990-ESPN. It's 800-990-3776. Questions for our mystery guest who is not here. Who do you want to say?
Kato Kalin.
That is incorrect.
I don't even know who that is.
He's well known across the country. I would have said he's well known across the country.
He's also, I'm just trying to think of someone who's not an athlete, a coach.
Kato Kalin was part of the OJ trial. All right, Kyle or Strophe, you got a yes
Lived in Wisconsin.
Evan Cohen.
Evan Cohen is also incorrect. He's a broadcaster. You asked if he's a broadcaster and if he's well known across the country. I would have said yes.
I jokingly threw out this name earlier. I'm going to go with your former co-host, Steve Politziner.
That is also
He's a
no.
business person.
He's a business person.
that's true. That's true.
You guys
You have
This
to
is
think
hard.
entertainment now. It's got to be music or acting or comedy or something.
I don't know who this guy knows.
But music, then you'd be well known. I guess not necessarily, but
Well known across the
this
country.
stinks.
I don't think you guys even realized what questions you asked.
No, you're
you
right.
guys are
I should
terrible
wrote
at this.
these down.
Don't lump me with that.
you're right.
I feel like I delivered a good guess based on
Don't
the
loop Greg
answers.
in with the idiots.
800-990-ESPN. It is 800-990-3776. Questions for our mystery guest. It is the new and vastly improved, right? This feels good right now. 7 and 11.
Yeah, real good. Real good.
Let's talk to Jeremiah. Do you have a question for our mystery guest?
Question for the mystery guest. Man, do you think the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl within 5 years? I'm hoping.
The mystery guest says no. Thanks for the call, Jeremiah. All right.
Who's next on the Carbless Talking text line where Liz is more?
Yeah, right now it doesn't appear anybody is. You guys have asked such poor questions that no one even understands what they should be asking next.
800-990-3776, 800-990.
I mean, I guess
We need you.
Well, I guess I'm questioning the selection of who the guest was gonna be because I mean, if they're not in sports. They may have lived in Wisconsin. They're not a broadcaster.
Why are you saying they're not in sports?
Didn't we ask?
We asked athlete. We asked coach or team personnel.
No,
The
you
answer
asked,
both of
are they
those-
a former athlete? You never asked if they were an athlete.
Oh,
I did ask if they were famous for being.
Oh, I know who it is, but I can't guess it.
I think you can.
No, he can't guess it.
Text me.
I
No, you said, are they a former athlete? You at no point guessed if they were an athlete.
I think I asked if they were famous for being an athlete.
No, a former
You
athlete.
said former. He's right.
All right.
You said former athlete.
That's just a guess. I texted you.
All right, 800-990-ESPN.
You don't think so?
So they could be a current athlete based on, I'm not saying they are, but if I was calling, that would be the next question I would ask is, are you a current athlete?
I think I know who it is.
You do not know who it is. Let's talk to Bill. You're on Sunday Karma. Morning, Bill.
Hey, is it John McGivern?
Oh, sure.
Is it John McGivern? It is not John McGivern. Thanks for the call. He is not on my phone.
Can we ask you an 8th question?
Yes.
Is this person currently a Good Karma Brands teammate?
No.
Okay, you're wrong.
I think that was an interesting way to ask that question. But, all right.
800-990-ESPN. It's 800-990-3776. And this...
Have they appeared on a Good Karma Brands radio station in the last year?
Say no.
Okay. Then I am wrong.
I'm lost then, yeah.
Then I am wrong.
Let's go to Frank, who's an accountant. You're on Sunday Karma. Morning, Frank.
Morning. This sounds like something you're doing in the car with your kids on a long drive.
Yeah, that is what the show is. That's what we're going for here.
And I just want to critique some. I know this is the reboot of the show, but you could put a little more effort into doing it. Just to be truthful, as an independent listener over all these years, there have been some crazy Sunday morning shows, but
you're saying this could be the one that seems the least prepared and has put the least thought into any of the shows we've done over the last 25 years?
Well, you know, top 10 of the least prepared, because I'm sure there's been other ones.
Wow,
what are the indicators of that other than us not having a guest
for the big? I mean, no, I'm representing who the mystery guest would have been. I think, Frank, this is. I'm going to side with me on this one over you. I think this is very well thought out.
Chef Ed agreeing with Frank on the Carbless Talking text line. The text line 800-990-3776. Chef Ed just says this new concept sucks.
Yeah, that's because you know what? There's so many things that people, especially accountants, don't realize in the moment that end up being brilliance. Like you look back 20, 30 years ago, like it's kind of like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Like I believe this rebooted Sunday Karma will be studied in like college classes. Like there will be college classes on the rebooted Sunday Karma, and like Dirty Al Gallagher will be like on people's like syllabus when they start the semester. There will be like Dirty Al Gallagher will be.
I did hear that, especially accountants crap, by the way.
Oh yeah, I tried to sneak that in on you.
Applied.
Yeah. That's.
No, you couldn't get it past
I was a little defensive there. Man City, by the way, gets their 3rd goal. I don't feel like it was Erling Haaland though. That was really sad. So my parlay's not going to hit. Thanks, Frank. Let's go to Howard. You're on Sunday Karma. Morning, Howard.
My God, Dorothy Kilgallen and Bennett Cerf are rolling in their graves.
Yes.
You're an old soul. Congratulations. You brought back What's My Line.
Exactly. See? Exactly, Howard. People do not respect what we're doing right here.
Now, rolling in your grave is a bad thing, right, Howard?
Remember, those people on the show actually had wit and intelligence. Please all of us out.
Yeah, but Howard, at least we have a good effort. We're just lacking the execution. At least there's something positive.
Yeah. I think a little preseason practice might have been a good idea.
Yeah. Okay, Howard.
This is preseason.
Do you have a good yes?
Yeah, this has become the Rip Us show.
Okay,
This is week 1 of the regular season.
A yes or no question, Howard.
Are you currently alive?
Yes.
He pretty much just told us it was a current.
No, okay. No, that's a good question because you could be in my phone. I do not delete dead people from my phone generally.
Hope you wouldn't text them and try to get them on the show.
Yeah, that's true.
Is your occupation related to sports?
Yes. See, Howard knows how to do this. He's building up to it.
Unlimited guesses. We only had 7.
Okay, keep going, Howard. You're doing well.
Are you over 40?
No. All right. Howard has helped narrow down things for us there.
I have a sneaking suspicion, Strofe, based on context clues, this might be a current athlete.
I think so.
Okay, let's go to Jim.
How'd you get to that conclusion?
Let's go to Jim. Jim, what do you think of the new radio show? How do you think it's going?
I think it's fantastic, except the central question is my first question, which is,
is your IQ higher than all of these guys on the show except for Craig?
Except for Craig. By the way, I have to say no on this guy. I don't think he is, unfortunately. Oh, I just gave a fact that it's he.
Okay. You already answered that it's not a woman because Kyle asked that as a yes or no question.
Yep. All right, Jim, thanks for the call. Jim,
I can't believe I'm getting looped in with you guys. Josh DiMaggio saying you guys had F- guesses, you know?
Okay. All right, we'll continue to take your assessments of the new Sunday Karma, and you have only 44 more minutes to guess our mystery guest who when I texted him, it went green instead of blue. So I don't know if his phone has changed, but we'll see. Our mystery guest, basically we've determined he is a he who is under 40, who is an athlete. We will see if we can...
Who had or currently lives in Wisconsin.
Who had or currently lived in Wisconsin. We will see if we can figure out who this mystery guest is as we continue at Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond?
Kessler's has diamonds that come from diamond mines.
And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers.
When you see the size of the diamond you can afford when you look at our high-tech newborn created diamonds,
you're going to be happy, happy, happy.
And with approved credit, our financing plans make anything possible.
Our selection of engagement rings is beyond compare.
And our custom design department can modify any ring in any way you choose.
Anyone who says they can give you a better ring
or a better diamond
or a better price
has never been to Kessler's.
And our miraculous no small print warranty says,
if you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed.
It's just that simple.
And all maintenance is free forever.
No charge.
Yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with.
When you're ready to celebrate,
we've got a diamond for that.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 855-620-1801. That's 855-620-1801. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Landworks is the locally owned landscape company to elevate the look of your home or business. Landworks is different because of customer service. From the crew to the salesperson to the admin team, you're in good hands with Landworks. Their sales and design teams are made up of horticulturists, licensed landscape architects, and passionate plant people. Their landscape architects and horticulture team members are also project managers. This means you'll have a single point of contact from initial design through completion of work. See their amazing work for yourself at LandworksWisconsin.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Guys, let's talk about something important. That's you. Hey, it's Brad Nortman. Taking care of your health and appearance isn't just about looking good, it's about feeling strong, confident, and ready to take on the world. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, they make it easy. With experts in advanced skincare, body contouring, and anti-aging treatments, Quintessa's here to help you stay sharp and at your best. Trust me, when you look good, you feel even better. So why wait? Visit myquintessa.com and take the first step toward a more confident you.
We don't just cover the green and gold. We cover the green and gold. Your home for Green Bay football talk. 94.5 ESPN and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
House real big, cars real big, belly real big, everything real big, rims real big, pockets real big.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Pimps, mamas, daddies, stunners, shiners, rich snitch, I'm a real big timer. King of the hood, everything wood. Look like a forest in the truck and I'm a wood. Matching sofa set, big open deck, hardwood flows and everything that connect from the front to the back. Try to top that, 615 beating hard in the deck. Push that button, microwave oven. I'm just getting started, pimp. You ain't seen nothing. Is that a fish tank, bro, in the middle of the dash? Yeah, pimp, but don't put your fingers on my glass. Got a 2-lane bowling alley up in the truck, and on the other side of the bed, if she wanna get stuck. Clap off lights when you're getting affection. Clap on lights when you're finding protection. Out where in the wide, wide world of Gator, can you find another truck with a plush elevator? Big rain, big tank. Look.
Kyle's frustrated because the music ran out, Craig.
No, because the video part, I wasn't expecting to be waiting here for a 60-plus seconds.
Craig was riffing. He was telling us about the glory days of his radio career.
By the way,
I didn't know we were back. I didn't hear.
By the way, all right.
I didn't hear the producer say, "Hey guys."
By the way,
yeah, interesting point.
Wait, by the way, one of our mystery guests, has come through and is going to be joining us now.
Oh, God.
He's joining in 6 minutes.
So now we got to start this over?
No, he's not the mystery guest today. He's just going to be a guest because he just beat USC. And in 7 minutes, we're going to talk to Greg Gard, the head coach of the Wisconsin Badger basketball team. How about that?
Help us guess the mystery guest?
Yeah, if we haven't guessed the mystery guest by then, Greg Gard will have to help us on that.
Does Greg Gard know what he's getting himself into?
I think whatever it is good, but I mean, I think most people listening or who were listening who've since turned us off would disagree. So, all right, we're in the middle of our mystery guest. Right now, you can call the Carbless Talk and Text line where Liz is more. We are looking for our mystery guest who is not on the line with us today, who is under 40. They are a current athlete, and they at some point lived in Wisconsin. You can ask any yes or no question to try to get us to the proper answer of this mystery guest. But we need to pop out in the next, 3 minutes, because then we need to come back for Greg Gard, who was going to be one of our mystery guests. He was number 4. You chose to go with number 3, which was this person.
Too bad.
If you had gone with number 4, it would have been Greg Gard, and then by the time we guessed him, he could have come on.
Came out
yeah, and then the accountants wouldn't be mad at us and all that. Yeah. All right, 800-990-3776. It's 800-990-ESPN. All right, you guys go with some yes or no questions until any listeners get it, because we don't have a lot of time here.
Is this athlete currently playing overseas?
Yes.
Did they play collegiate basketball at Marquette?
No.
Did they play collegiate basketball?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Is it Sam Decker?
No.
Oh, why you say it like that? I mean, he's overseas.
Well, I mean, you just jumped into that. I think, didn't you just ask at Wisconsin?
I was going to ask at Wisconsin.
Oh, no. Okay, Kyle, grab the phone. Who knows who's calling?
All right, so played collegiate basketball, lived in Wisconsin.
But did not play at Marquette or Wisconsin.
Yeah, nobody actually goes to UW Green Bay and
Well, actually ask that. No, that wouldn't be right. No, don't ask that.
So they played probably for the Bucks for a certain point,
yes.
I would guess.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Did they play ever for the Milwaukee Bucks?
Yes.
All right, so somebody who's young enough
were they
now
drafted
overseas
by the Bucks?
Yes, they were.
Why'd you say that with uncertainty?
No, because the pick, the way sometimes NBA works is like you're drafted and traded. But I'm not saying that happened. He was clearly drafted by the Bucks.
I mean, former Bucks that are now playing overseas.
All right, let's go to Constantine. Constantine, they've narrowed it down to someone who was drafted by the Bucks who is now playing overseas. And feel free to rip the show if you don't have a good question to ask.
Oh, gosh, I was going to ask if they played at UW.
Yep, they've not played at UW. We just got that figured out. What's your assessment of the new rebooted Sunday Karma?
Worse.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
Yep, that's what we've been going for. All right, keep going, guys. We're going to have to... Greg Gard's joining us.
Well,
they're the highest scoring basketball team in the history of the University of Wisconsin.
Did they win a championship in 2021?
Did they win a championship in 2021?
No.
Is it Jabari Parker?
No.
I thought I got it.
Are they older than 30?
That's a good question. I don't think so. They are not. No.
Okay.
Man, this is obscure.
This is really
Kyle,
obscure.
what do you got?
Nothing. Frustration. That's what I have. Is frustration.
You can't figure out who it is.
I don't know. This person, I'm gonna go. Oh, when we find out who it is, I have no idea. Some overseas basketball player that is lived in Wisconsin for a little bit. I mean, semi-famous.
I had said no for known across the United States.
Would they have been fun for us to even interview?
I don't think so.
Well,
but
that's the point.
Is it DJ Wilson?
It is not DJ Wilson.
Thon Maker?
It is not Thon Maker.
I'm out of ideas.
You're close on Thon Maker, just so you know. Really close on Thon Maker.
What do you mean close on Thon Maker?
Thon Maker's about as close as you could get without getting it right.
Rashad Vaughn?
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, my God.
Rashad Vaughn is our mystery guest. Congratulations.
He left you on red.
Everybody, Rashad Vaughn, former UNLV one-season player and first-round draft pick by the Milwaukee Bucks, is the first ever mystery guest in the history of Sunday Karma.
I don't
Congratulations.
think we make it out of preseason.
So what made you text Rashad Vaughn?
Greg Gard coming up next. It's Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has 13 Milwaukee area branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
One call, that's all. That's what I did to those mystery guests, but I guess they didn't call back. But when one call, that's all happens with Gruber Law Offices, you know that you can be at ease. Because you're going through something you never thought you'd go through. You're injured, a loved one's injured, something's happening to you, your family, that you never went through. Well, they've gone through it tens of thousands of times for Wisconsinites, based here in Wisconsin. That's how, as a family-owned company, they've become nationally recognized. Because then your stress is gone, you are taken care of, and you only pay if you win. So if you or a loved one's ever injured, remember, it's one call. That's all. With Gruber Law Offices.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
For more than 40 years, Network Health has been the trusted experts in health plans. Just like you, they're honest, hardworking, and grateful to call Wisconsin home. Whether you're seeking coverage for yourself, your family, or your employees, Network Health has you covered with a range of options, including individual and family marketplace plans, employer plans, and Medicare Advantage plans. Call Steve Llewellyn, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. The Saganiac Planning Marquette Records. Greatest shot blocker for Marquette, Jim McIlvaine. Second best shot blocker, Jim McIlvaine on a bad day. 13 block shots against Northeastern Illinois in 92. Best ever by someone other than Jim McIlvaine, 8. Theo John, Amal McCaskill, and Walter Downing. And one other with 8 blocks in a game, 5 different times. Yep, Jim McIlvaine. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
And now it's time for everyone's favorite game, Response in Wisconsin. Guess the most popular responses from Wisconsinites. Okay, here we go. What's your least favorite thing about winter in Wisconsin? Gina Della from Pella.
Let me guess. Frozen toes? Oh, I know. Driving alongside bumper cars every time it snows. And then scrambling to find someone to watch your kids because they're school clothes. Let's face it, this is just the time of the year when we just want to all be warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Pella Windows and Doors is the best choice to make your home just right. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years.
Thanks for playing Response in Wisconsin.
Hurry! You only have until January 31st to get 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Kyle Preston Nortman, KBN.
He thinks he left the video stream for 5 minutes.
When I say I am sweating, I am out of shape drastically.
This is ESPN Milwaukee on 94.5 ESPN and on video at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
How about that? There we go, Kyle. Actually on. There we go. It's the new rebooted disastrous Sunday Karma. He may not be Rashad Vaughn, who was our fake mystery guest today, but he is the winner of 7 consecutive games playing incredible basketball. Head coach of the Wisconsin Badgers, Greg Gard, joins us on Sunday Karma. Hey. Morning, Coach. You're on with Greg Scalzo, Alex Strofe, Kyle Wallace, and Craig Karmazin. How you doing?
I'm good, guys. How are you guys doing? Getting up early. I'm on West Coast time.
Yeah, after beating one of those just typical old school Big Ten rivalries, USC. Yeah. When you think about it, where do you think that ranks your win yesterday in the history of Wisconsin USC basketball games?
The rivalries, yeah. I think it's the second time we played them in the last 100 years. So, it's all good, but it's just been weird to kind of watch these games. I saw Purdue Washington the other night, and you have to remind yourself that's a Big Ten game, and UCLA at Rutgers. Oh, that's a Big Ten game. So it's taken a little getting used to, but at the end of the day, when the ball goes up, it's still basketball, and you try to play as consistently well as possible.
Well, Mick Cronin had something to say about all the travel in college basketball as far as having to go coast to coast. How do you manage that, with your team? Because it's just the reality of what it is now. It seems weird when we watch it on TV, but you guys live it. And, going back 10, 15 years ago, you didn't have this level of travel.
Yeah, I don't get into the theatrics that Mick does, and I quite frankly like to see the Statue of Liberty twice in 3 weeks. But it's only a big deal if you make it a big deal, and we haven't changed our approach. We came out here an extra day early, and we usually travel 1 day prior, given how many time zones you change. So coming out on Thursday for a Saturday game was always our intent. But I think our players know that the preparation doesn't change regardless of who we play, and I don't make a big deal about any deal about whether we're at home or a road or how far we have to travel. Everybody has to do it, and the rims are 10 feet high and the court's 94 feet long, so let's go play. There's a lot harder things that people could be doing with life than having a 3-hour flight and having to play a basketball game 2 days later.
Yeah, so you're talking about our players know, and I just think about culture so much, and in today's college basketball, where there's transfer portals and all this. Like, do you feel like it was then? Like, do you feel like your team, like you're able to actually establish a culture when there is as much turnover as there is in today's college basketball?
Yeah, and I think that's us being able to maintain our culture has been one of the reasons why we're sitting here at 15-3 right now. Retention is big, and we were able to retain, a lot of guys off last year's team, but knowing at the same time there's going to be turnover. The transient nature of college athletics right now is real, and you're not going to be immune to it. So when you do have to replace spots on your roster, being very intentional on who you're bringing in, really trying to construct your roster to, have depth at every position, not too much of this and not enough of that. And I think that's and the right type of people too. The guys that we have brought in, John Tonje, Xavier Amos, Cam Hunter, in terms of the portal, and then the freshmen that come in. I think Matt Painter has a great quote. He says, when guys come into his program, you become us, we don't become you. And I think that's the same thing here. We intentionally really zero in on the type of player we want, how it fits within our roster, what are our needs, but also the type of person that we're bringing into our locker room. And again, our guys that have come back year after year and have been here for a long time help kind of bridge that transition really easily.
Do you know what the other rosters in the Big Ten are because of all this turnover? Like, obviously, you're scouting USC for a couple days leading up to yesterday's matchup, but do you actually know what you're getting into, 2 weeks ahead of a matchup and what these teams look like?
Are you saying, like, right now, if you quizzed him on Washington's starting, like, rotation, does he know it these days?
Because they changed so much. So, Greg, please give us some insight into that.
Yeah, they do. They do. I mean, my assistants are working ahead on scouts, so I'm literally looking at a UCLA overall stat box score right now as I'm talking to you guys, and started late last night learning, UCLA. And I knew some of the players just because of, they've been in other places. Kobe Johnson, lived in Sun Prairie for a while. William Kyle, we recruited out of the portal from South Dakota State. So I'm familiar with some names here and there. But by and large, I don't really dive in until we're 48 hours from playing. I get my Cliff Notes and I'm diving. It's like cramming for a final, so there'll be some late nights here over the next 2 days.
It used to be like myself. I mean, there aren't, the program guys that you'd be used to, right? Because you would know, we as fans would know the teams that well. So when you were sitting here in the offseason, were you like, hey, I think we could score 80 points a game this year? Like, is this the version of the team that you thought was possible, in terms of, running Arizona out of the building and like being able to play at the pace that you've played this year?
Well, I think it's part of our plan as we've evolved offensively, and maybe not specifically driven to this team, but this team was intentionally, as I talked about before with the roster compilation, it was intentionally put together with very specific needs in mind that we had to address. And I think efficiency is probably more important to us than what the final scoreboard number says. And if we can keep that scoreboard moving, that's great. But the efficiency we want to play with and the points per possession, being really, I think yesterday we were at 1.25 for the game. So that's, you're going to win a lot of games and the game has changed. It's a scoring, kind of has a scoring uptick right now, and everything is geared towards more scoring. And I think how we play and how we've kind of revamped what we're doing offensively, along with how we've strategically pieced this roster together, and how the game has changed, has allowed, us to put a lot of numbers on the board.
Badger head coach Greg Gard joining us from Southern California after a win yesterday. So you don't have to drop any names on us here, but are there guys where you've recruited hard and you thought you were going to get them, and then they go somewhere else and you're like, oh, I know that coach. It's never going to work out for him there. And then you've been able to get them in the transfer portal? Like, are there guys like that where you're just like, hey, let's not totally give up on this one because we really are the right fit for this guy?
I mean, the transfer portal is so new that there hasn't been a lot of long-term recruiting processes with high school kids that we've gone through and haven't gotten them, and portal went somewhere, and a lot of those kids we've gone through that process with haven't jumped in the portal or haven't been, because all of this is so new. I think there will eventually be probably a time, but the flip side of that, the high school recruiting, unfortunately for high school kids, is really kind of dropped in terms of the level of importance and relevancy, not only for us, but across college basketball, because you have the portal, you have international recruiting. We've had the COVID extra year where guys can stay. Now the NCAA is contemplating voting on a 5th year of eligibility. So your key is here, you want to stay old. And how do you stay old and mature? In years gone by was to redshirt kids and incubate them, and all of a sudden in year 3 they appear and everybody asks, well, where did he come from?
Yeah, so Greg, like a Mike Wilkinson. I don't know if that's a bad example, but I think about him, right? Like, who I'm like, God, can that guy play? Like he's on the court a little bit, and then all of a sudden by the 4th and 5th year, like, he's an all Big Ten caliber player, right?
The poster child of that, what you're talking about, is Frank Kaminsky.
Yeah.
I mean, he was even food chain than Mike Wilkinson was as a freshman. And Mike redshirted, but I mean, that the ways of old of redshirting and incubating somebody and, having them sit by your water cooler for 3 years before they get on the court, the patience to stay isn't there. And
so with that kid now, do you say like, we'd almost rather him go to a Horizon League or some other program, and if they show they can play at the level, we'll go try to get him then, versus investing the years in, because it's better for them to get more time on the court somewhere else?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's still, it's kind of been nicknamed the farm system, the feeder system. Yeah, where you can't take everybody. And again, you don't know how your roster is going to change year in and year out, and you're really operating 1 year at a time. I mean, we used to forecast rosters out over 2, 3, 4 years and kind of move people up the ladder as they came through your program. Now you're literally piecing it together, 10 to 12 spots every year, 1 year at a time, because you don't know, who's going to go, who's coming in, who's going out. You have a decent idea, but you shouldn't be surprised by any type of movement one way or the other, because there's so much fluidity and there's no guidelines on it. So the kids are free to do whatever they want, whenever they want. So, and then bail money, the enticement of that, whether it's more at other places, playing time and more money. I mean, it's a combination of things that make this completely different than what it was 5 years ago.
Greg, I saw Bears quarterback Caleb Williams was sitting courtside yesterday during your game at USC, and after Kamari McGee inevitably hit a corner 3, he started jaw-jacking him a little bit. As a Packers fan and his coach, was that a proud moment for you?
Yeah, I didn't even realize how irrelevant the Bears are for me. I didn't even realize he was sitting over there after the game. But they said, I asked him and Klesman after the game, like, who were you? Were you yelling at him? And he goes, no, it was this dude next to him that was doing all the chirping. So between our Packers guys and our Vikings guys, they said he left a little earlier. They're going to give him some go Pack go and some skull chants as we were wrapping up the game. But he had to get out. He had to get out early. He obviously saw the result coming, and but it's always, it's fun when those guys recognize, the faces in the crowd. And the last hotel we were at had all the UFC fighters that were part of everything going on last night at the Intuit Center. And so the UFC fans on our team were all in seventh heaven over the last few days when they got to see all their childhood heroes walking in the lobby and taking pictures with. It's cool when these guys get a chance to see, the people that they watch on TV, and like I said, the stars, so to speak.
Less likely to happen at Iowa, so sometimes you see the Statue of Liberty, sometimes you go to L.A. and see those stars. Badgers in action Tuesday against UCLA before returning home next Sunday against Nebraska. Coach, before we let you go, you brought up the Packers there. We know you're a fan. We know you have a relationship with Coach LaFleur. Your feelings on how the season ended and what you think needs to happen going into next year for your Packers.
Well, I think a lot needs to happen. We got to get Christian Watson's situation figured out if he's going to be healthy. I think, look at what the NFC North, what happened to them after the Lions get bounced last night. I mean, for all the accolades the NFC North got with Green Bay, Minnesota, and Detroit, 0-3 in the playoffs and bounced real quick. So, I think you don't, as Packer fans, we're not fair weather fans. So we'll be there again next year, and Matt will get them right, and Jordan Love will get healthy and make another run at it.
Well, you guys are making a great run this year. We appreciate you jumping on a little early from the West Coast. You guys are playing great, and I know people have loved watching this team throughout the season. Coach Greg Gard, Wisconsin Badgers, appreciate you. I mean, is he the first guest on the new rebooted Sunday Karma?
He is the very first guest.
You'll be
outside of Jason Wilde.
Yep, you will be. You'll go down in history for this, Coach. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Gardo.
There he is.
Kyle might have cut him off early on there. You know?
No, I did not. You know what? Criticize.
The great Greg Gard joining us.
You're sensitive today.
No, I'm sitting here. I wake up.
All of a sudden, you and I switch spots from what we do 5 days a week, and you've got the Gen Z energy.
Yeah, well, whoever is behind the glass, I feel like automatically gets crap thrown at them. But when Kyle's as bad at his job, that also
criticize.
But he's very sensitive.
Greg Gard just disappeared. He didn't say anything. Y'all just sat there with silence. So I just said, all right, well, let's get ready to just hook him.
Oh, that's a easy goal for Erling Haaland. We're up 5-0 Manchester
and then
City.
Craig is over here just talking about things that nobody knows about.
Yeah, Haaland scored.
Good.
We'll get you ready for NFL Sunday next. It's Sunday Karma across ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Experience the timeless charm of the Knickerbocker on the Lake, Milwaukee's premier boutique hotel. With its stunning architecture and modern comforts, every detail tells a story. Whether it's a romantic getaway, a business trip, or simply a night away, you'll find elegance, history, and a warm welcome waiting for you. The Knickerbocker on the Lake, where every moment feels like a chapter from the past, written just for you. Visit knickerbockeronthelake.com to book your stay today. An unforgettable getaway awaits.
It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. Universal Windows Direct is offering an amazing deal right now. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. That's right. For every 2 windows you buy, you'll get 2 more absolutely free with no limit and 36 months of no interest financing. Plus, if you've already received a quote from another company, bring it to Universal Windows Direct and they'll beat it. Schedule your free in-home estimate today or visit universalwindowsdirect.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority with the latest technologies at their state-of-the-art Brookfield office. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. And now, Holtebeck Eye Center is excited to add Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist that is now available to see patients. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol, learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Homer here.
I'm inviting you to join me starting August the 9th, as we explore the many shades of Ireland with Colette Vacations, a 10-day journey filled with legendary views, historic expeditions, and unforgettable tales. Explore the historic city of Dublin, kiss the famous Blarney Stone, and stand on the spectacular cliffs of Moher. We'll also journey Ireland's breathtaking countryside and follow the stunning coastal route of the Ring of Kerry. We'll experience the daily life of an Irish family with a dairy farm visit, and even enjoy a taste or two at a historic whiskey distillery. Plus, there's a stay overnight at a medieval castle. Join me for all of these experiences and many more. Visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com for trip information. Colette handles all the details of the 10-day excursion, the flights, the meals, the hotels, the experience. Don't worry about it. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Don't miss it. Visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com or text Homer to 800-990-3776. Homer, 800-990-3776.
This is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. I'm reaching out with a message that's close to my heart. Devastating fires have ravaged the Los Angeles area, leaving families displaced, homes destroyed, and the community in need of help. Right now, you have the power to make a real difference. Your donation, big or small, can provide food, shelter, supplies, and much-needed support for those affected by the fires. If you are able to, please help those affected by the California wildfires and donate at www.lafoodbank.org/fire.
Hey y'all, Eli Winters here. I want to talk to you about something that's more important than ever, taking care of the wildlife around us. Our planet is home to some of the most amazing creatures you could ever imagine, from the biggest bears to the smallest birds and everything in between. But here's the truth. Many of these animals are in danger, habitats are disappearing, and we're losing species at a rate we've never seen before. If we want our kids and their kids to experience the magic of wildlife that we have today, it's on us to step it up and take action. You can make a difference. Learn more about wildlife conservation in your area and how you can help, whether it's supporting local wildlife refuges, reducing pollution, or simply taking a little time to appreciate the wild beauty around you. It all counts. This is Eli Winters. Let's make sure our wildlife is around for generations to come. Y'all take care of the earth and it'll take care of us. This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
It's that time.
Yes, it's finally here.
Craig makes his picks of the week.
You can bet the house on it.
Picks of the week on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin. Presented by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Hey, bro, chachos. We have the voice.
Yeah, we do.
We have the voice right here. You want to tell us about what about brochachos and the pizza from Stranger Things?
Hola, brochachos. Yes, of course, Palermo's, whether it's Screamin' Sicilian, all of their pizzas, they are absolutely incredible. Kyle knows, he talks about them every single day. I found out that actually Ben Brust, another Palermo's pizza endorser, is using his free Palermo's
Wait, but do you think Greg doesn't know the name of the pizza from? No, Google. He is the voice.
Of course I do. I did that commercial.
I know. That's why I put you on the spot on it.
I know. No, I'm blanking on it right now.
Surfer Boy
Pizza.
That's what we went with for the Packers game last week.
Maybe you do it with the pineapple on there and everything?
No. It was the pepperoni Surfer Boy. The crust is just so good on the Surfer Boy pizza. Palermo's, they're based in Wisconsin. Like the idea that you could eat pizza and be supporting a Wisconsin-based company that is philanthropic and helps the community and does all the things and creates jobs is incredible. Surfer Boy, one of the great ones. Screamin' Sicilian, Urban Pie, all of them. Palermo's Pizza, fantastic
Can't
people.
forget Surfer Boy.
Yep. I think you just
Can't
did.
forget.
I think you just did. All right, so we have a few minutes for picks. Anyone like anything today? Any games jump out at you?
Well, actually, I'll jump in because I'm not one to quite often go and bet too often, but I found myself at Pato. It was dope, man. The second floor, I don't really go to Pato too often.
We got to do this show from here. I mean, I would think with how the quality of this show, like businesses would be demanding us to be there at this point.
I would think. And I actually I made 4 bets yesterday.
Wow. Oh, let's judge. Do you have the tickets there? Can we judge them?
The tickets are in my pocket upstairs, but I have points over in the Bills game, over 51.5.
Points. That's a reference to the weekly wager I made earlier this week.
And then I got
wait. So over in Bills Ravens?
Yep. 51.5.
51.5.
Greg, how you feeling about that one? I mean, it's going to be snowy and stuff there, which I know sometimes favors the offense.
I'm an under better. I would take the under there.
Yeah, took points. Even though the Ravens defense has been playing better, but you got 2 great quarterbacks that are going to lead the way today. They're going to put on performance in the show. And then also I took the over on the 42.5 on the Rams versus
I don't like that.
Dude, that's going to be an icy field condition also there.
Stafford's not great outside in the cold.
Oh, well, I guess we'll see. I guess I should have looked up field conditions.
Hey, you're okay, man. You're okay.
And then also I took I made my own line with -2.5 with the Ravens today. I think the Ravens go in win that game.
So you took the Ravens alt spread, so they're only favored by 1, but you took them all the way to 2.5. You feel that good about
them?
Get
a little bit more money.
I like the Ravens today too. I've got them -1.
I got the Bills straight up. I got the Bills.
Really?
Straight up.
I mean, that's the best game of the playoffs, right?
By far.
I'm saying even like better than the game against the Chiefs. Like, if just on paper, like this game.
This is the matchup everybody wants to see.
These are the 2 best teams in the NFL.
Are the Chiefs going to be in the Super Bowl again?
Yes.
Probably.
Kyle,
the Ravens are going
everyone's
to
going to complain about the refs.
I hope you're right, Kyle.
No, the Ravens are winning the Super Bowl this year.
But hold on a minute. You're saying that like there's not an actual gripe with the officiating when Kansas City is playing a football
I think
game.
there are probably gripes.
You saw that roughing the passer yesterday, right?
I get that, but I also don't think that the league got together and it's like, hey, referees, let's make sure that the Chiefs get into the Super Bowl.
Hey, real quick, I've gotten now 3 text messages. Is it disrespectful I didn't refer to Greg Gard as coach?
You called him Gardo?
I called him Greg and Gardo.
No, you called him Gardo.
But I also called him Greg at one point. Is that disrespectful?
No, I think Greg is okay. I think Greg's okay. Like, what is your level of relationship with him?
I mean, I covered those teams for a couple.
Mr. Irrelevant.
He once appeared on Mr. Coach's Week a couple months ago.
There is no
I covered the team for a couple of years.
Would he know you? Like, if he walked by you?
I think
Are you part of the Christmas card or no?
No.
I get a Christmas card.
Christmas card from
Okay, I do. Humble brag. Cool.
Yeah, I don't think you can call him Gardo if you don't get a Christmas card because, the fact that I get one, it's not like I'm like hanging with him, right?
Can you tell us the 4 people you text to try to get on the show?
Yeah.
No, I want to hear them because they're going to be future weeks. Also, for the record,
you're off next week. What are we doing?
Speaking of rules,
wait, but aren't I still doing it even when I'm not here?
Yes. You just have to talk to Kyle.
Just because I said number 3, you could have made any of them number 3. You didn't have to make the worst one of your picks in Rashad Vaughn number 3.
I thought Rashad Vaughn was the best of them.
Horrible debut.
No, I don't think you understand what we're going for on this show if you don't understand that Rashad Vaughn isn't the perfect
we got work to do.
guest.
And the
I
issue
would have respected him more if it was Dirty Al Gallagher's daughter or something like
facts.
that.
The 4 of us will not be back together for how long?
I have no idea.
You're both off next week.
That's
I'm
the
off
Sunday
the following
Karma
week.
Adventure.
You're both allegedly off the 9th. The 16th, maybe we're all back together?
I'll be in San Francisco
I'm
for the
gone the
NBA
16th.
All-Star game.
But then next week,
Strofe and Wallace is going to be really good the next month.
Yeah,
I'm back in 2 weeks.
Wallace needs to take a vacation.
Go to San Francisco for the NBA All-Star
The 7 at 11 is hot. That's all I'm saying. It is hot. We appreciate all of you who put up with this nonsense for 2 hours. So stay healthy, stay together, survive today, thrive tomorrow. Don't settle like we don't. We always are raising the bar on this show.
Shout
as you
out to
can hear.
Gardo.
Yep.
Gardo.
To Gardo. To Doug Gottlieb. To
Rashad Vaughn.
Yeah. And I'll keep the other one a secret because he's going to be a great mystery guest. The other one, I don't want to give him up.
Wes Edens.
It's not Wes Edens, but hey, you never know. You've been listening to Sunday Karma for some reason because you had nothing better to do. Kyle, send us out.
Peace.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 855-620-1801. That's 855-620-1801. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. If you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Brust and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Clark on NFL Live. Tomorrow night in Atlanta, it's the College Football Playoff National Championship game between Ohio State and Notre Dame. We'll have it here on ESPN Radio starting at 6:30 Eastern. The game also getting full megacast coverage on the ESPN family of networks. At the Australian Open today, Americans Coco Gauff and Tommy Paul advanced to the quarterfinals. Other winners include Carlos Alcaraz, Novak Djokovic, and Aryna Sabalenka. Coverage continues from Melbourne tonight at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN2. 40-year-old Lindsey Vonn appeared to be headed for a podium finish in Italy today when she fell about midway down the Super G course. She also took a training fall on Thursday.
Hey, it's Greeny, and you can't ask for more than we're getting in sports on Monday. We look back at divisional weekend, including the monster matchup between Allen and Lamar Jackson, and we look ahead to the national championship, Ohio State and Notre Dame. It's Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.